Hi, it's Liz from G-Mum's Place again. Today I'm doing a review on the book Divergent. I found this book really interesting. Divergent is by Veronica Roth and was published in 2011. The synopsis reads, this first book in Veronica Roth's #1 New York Times best-selling Divergent trilogy is the novel that inspired the major motion picture starring Shailene Woodley, Theo James, and Kate Winslet. This dystopia series, set in a futuristic Chicago, has captured the hearts of millions of teen and adult readers. Perfect for fans of the Hunger Games and Maze Runner series, Divergence and its sequels, Insurgent and Allegiant, are the gripping story of a dystopian world transformed by courage, self-sacrifice, and love. Fans of the Divergent movie will find the book packed with just as much emotional depth and exhilarating action as the film, all told in beautiful, rich language. One choice can transform you. Beatrice Pryor's society is divided into 5 factions: Candor, the honest; Abnegation, the selfless; Dauntless, the brave; Amity, the peaceful; and Erudite, the intelligent. Beatrice must choose between staying with her abnegation family and transferring factions. Her choice will shock her community and herself. But the newly christened Triss also has a secret, one she's determined to keep hidden, because in this world, what makes you different makes you dangerous. Here's the first paragraph. Actually, it's a few paragraphs, and the book is written through Beatrice's eyes, who becomes Triss. There is one mirror in my house. It is behind a sliding panel in the hallway upstairs. Our faction allows me to stand in front of it on the second day of every 3rd month, the day my mother cuts my hair. I sit on the stool, and my mother stands behind me with the scissors, trimming. The strands fall on the floor in a dull blonde ring. When she finishes, she pulls my hair away from my face and twists it into a knot. I note how calm she looks and how focused she is. She's well practiced in the art of losing herself. I can't say the same for myself. I sneak a look at my reflection when she isn't looking, not for the sake of vanity, but out of curiosity. A lot can happen to a person's appearance in 3 months. In my reflection, I see a narrow face, wide round eyes, and a long thin nose. I still look like a little girl, though sometime in the last few months I turned 16. The other factions celebrate birthdays, but we don't. It would be self-indulgent. There, she says when she pins the knot in place. Her eyes catch mine in the mirror. It is too late to look away, but instead of scolding me, she smiles at our reflection. I frown a little. Why doesn't she reprimand me for staring at myself? So, today is the day, she says. Yes, I reply. Are you nervous? I stare at my own eyes for a moment. Today is the day of the aptitude test that will show me which of the 5 factions I belong in. And tomorrow, at the choosing ceremony, I will decide on a faction. I will decide the rest of my life. I will decide to stay with my family or abandon them. No, I say. The tests don't have to change our choices. Right, she smiles. Let's go eat breakfast. Thank you for cutting my hair. She kisses my cheek and slides the panel over the mirror. I think my mother could be beautiful in a different world. Her body is thin beneath the grey robe. She has high cheekbones and long eyelashes, and when she lets her hair down at night, it hangs in waves over her shoulders. But she must hide that beauty in abnegation. We walk together to the kitchen. On these mornings when my brother makes breakfast and my father's hand skims my hair as he reads the newspaper, and my mother hums as she clears the table, it is on these mornings that I feel guiltiest for wanting to leave them. I'm going to read another section of the book, and you'll understand why I've included this section. In this scene, Beatrice has just finished the test that is supposed to tell her which faction to choose at the choosing ceremony the next day, but the results are not quite what she expected. I wake to sweaty palms and a pang of guilt in my chest. I am lying in the chair in the mirrored room. When I tilt my head back, I see Tori behind me. She's the tester from the Dauntless faction. She pinches her lips together and removes electrodes from our heads. I wait for her to say something about the test, that it's over or that I did well. Although how could I do poorly on a test like this? But she says nothing, just pulls the wires from my forehead. I sit forward and wipe my palms off on my slacks. I had to have done something wrong, even if it only happened in my mind. Is that strange look on Tori's face because she doesn't know how to tell me what a terrible person I am? I wish she would just come out with it. That, she says, was perplexing. Excuse me, I'll be right back. Perplexing? I bring my knees to my chest and bury my face in them. I wish I felt like crying, because the tears might bring me a sense of relief. But I don't. How can you fail a test you aren't allowed to prepare for? As the moments pass, I get more nervous. I have to wipe my hands every few seconds as the sweat collects. Or maybe I just do it because it helps me feel calmer. What if they tell me that I'm not cut out for any faction? I would have to live on the streets with the factionless. I can't do that. To live factionless is not just to live in poverty and discomfort. It is to live divorced from society, separated from the most important thing in life, community. My mother told me once that we can't survive alone. But even if we could, we wouldn't want to. Without a faction, we have no purpose and no reason to live. I shake my head. I can't think like this. I have to stay calm. Finally, the door opens and Tori walks back in. I grip the arms of the chair. Sorry to worry you, Tori says. She stands by my feet with her hands in her pockets. She looks tense and pale. Beatrice, your results were inconclusive, she says. Typically, each stage of the simulation eliminates one or more of the factions. But in your case, only 2 have been ruled out. I stare at her. 2, I ask. My throat is so tight it's hard to talk. If you had shown an automatic distaste for the knife and selected the cheese, the simulation would have led you to a different scenario. That confirmed your aptitude for amity. That didn't happen, which is why Amity is out. Tori scratches the back of her neck. Normally, the simulation progresses in a linear fashion, isolating one faction by ruling out the rest. The choices you made didn't even allow Candor, the next possibility, to be ruled out. So I had to alter the simulation to put you on the bus. And there, your insistence upon dishonesty ruled out Candor. She half smiles. Don't worry about that. Only the Candor tells the truth in that one. One of the knots in my chest loosens. Maybe I'm not an awful person. I suppose that's not entirely true. People who tell the truth are the Candor and the abnegation, she says, which gives us a problem. My mouth falls open. On the one hand, you threw yourself on the dog rather than let it attack the little girl, which is an abnegation-oriented response. But on the other, when the man told you that the truth would save him, you still refused to tell it. Not an abnegation-oriented response. She sighs. Not running from the dog suggests dauntless, but so does taking the knife, which you didn't do. She clears her throat and continues. Your intelligent response to the dog indicates strong alignment with erudite. I have no idea what to make of your indecision in stage 1, but... Wait, I interrupt her. So you have no idea what my aptitude is? Yes and no. My conclusion, she explains, is that you display equal aptitude for abnegation, dauntless, and erudite. People who get this kind of result are... She looks over her shoulder like she expects someone to appear behind her. Are called Divergent. This novel is descriptive without being overly so. It is set in a future Chicago and uses some landmarks that I imagine Chicagoites would know today. The dialogue is exactly what I would expect from the ages of the main characters. I didn't notice any bad language, but that's not to say there wasn't any. If it was there, it was in context with the scene the characters were in at the time. In this future world, apparently being divergent or not fitting into a particular faction is dangerous. And this is explained towards the end of the book, where it gives you consequences for being divergent. I enjoyed this book immensely and have given it 5 stars on Goodreads. This is the first time I've read Veronica Roth and thoroughly enjoyed her style. I'm looking forward to reading Allegiant and watching and reviewing the Divergent movie. As always, hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the notification bell and smash the like button. If you want to leave me a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much for watching this video.